Hello and welcome to Glanbia's Dairy Focus. At the end of this episode, you'll have the opportunity to watch a video with guidance on recommencing milk supply to Glanbia once your cows have started calving. But there's also a video available for you to watch with some really detailed information on slurry and fertilizer application this spring. In this episode, our nutritionist Elaine Brady takes us through transition cow management.
The transition period, which consists of 3 weeks before and 3 weeks after calving, is crucial to the health, performance and profitability of the cow. During this time, the cow is most susceptible to health disorder, and this is because she goes through 3 core physiological adaptations, which are metabolic, digestive and immune. So nutritional management is crucial during this time for successful adaptation to early lactation. To ensure sufficient dry matter intake, it's important to have sufficient feed and feed space available at all times in the calving pen, as hungry or empty cows are more prone to LDAs than after calving. It is also important to supplement with good quality minerals to prevent any milk fever, as calcium is an important mineral for muscle function. So cows suffering from either subclinical or clinical milk fever will have reduced rumination and therefore reduced dry matter intakes and predisposing it to other metabolic disorders. 2 kgs of concentrate should be included in the dry cow diet 2 to 3 weeks before calving, and this is to meet the energy requirements of the cow and also increase dry matter intake. This will reduce the excessive mobilization of her body reserves and also adapt the rumen to higher starch inclusions once she goes onto her lactation diet. And this is particularly important for higher yielding cows, as they have greater proportions of starch in their diet. One of the major challenges in early lactation is to provide the cow with sufficient energy to meet her milk performance, and this is because her dry matter intake lags behind her milk requirements. Typically, a cow's dry matter intake starts around 10 to 12 kgs of dry matter after calving and increases by 0.75 to 1 kgs of dry matter each week until she reaches her peak intake, and this can be around 18 to 20 kgs of dry matter depending on the cow's genetics. So it's important, even though negative energy balance cannot be avoided, it's important to try and avoid excessive negative energy balance. Body condition score is an indicator of negative energy balance, so a cow should not lose more than 0.5 of a body condition score, as this can cause metabolic disorders such as ketosis, but also have negative effects then later on your conception rates during the breeding season. Nutritional management in early lactation is important to try and curtail this body condition score loss. This can be done by providing a high energy dense feed such as high quality grass silage and a high energy dense nut. Other indicators of negative energy balance can be seen through your milk components. So these include milk protein and your fat percentage. When your fat to protein ratio increases above 1:3, this is an indicator of excess body score loss. So it's important when you see these changes in your milk composition that you adjust your diet accordingly to meet the requirements of your cow to ensure optimal performance and prevent any metabolic disorders.
Now remember that on the 28th of January, the new veterinary medicines legislation comes into force, and that prescriptions for antibiotics will be valid for 5 days only. The videos on recommencing milk supply to Glanbia once the cows have calved and soil and fertility application this spring are available for you to watch. But if you want any more information on the topics in this episode, please talk to your local Glanbia representative or log on to glanbiaconnect.com.